going to be doing another Empties video. I have this lovely candle going that's making some awesome, it's a bamboo wick, so it's making these wonderful crackling noises. I have to say, this is going to be a rather large I wanted to say haul, but it's not really a haul. I've been using this bin, and I think I checked my uploads, and my last Empties video was exactly a month before this filming, and I was scrounging around for items. But this month, because I've been intentionally saving everything, I feel like I have a lot more, or I just ran out of a lot of stuff this month. I don't really know. Either way, my bin was full. You can kind of see it. I use this little plastic bin from Dollar Tree or the dollar store, I don't know. A dollar store of some kind. I'm gonna try and fish that bottle out. This one just jumped out at us. I will say I've been saving not just personal care, just random household items, because again, I was kind of scrounging around for things last month, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll just start saving all different types of stuff, because I think it's still interesting to see how much packaging and such you go through in a month, and I was very, very impressed. So my first item is our dish soap. This is the Ecos Free and Clear. I actually really like this. You can find it in a lot of stores for a couple bucks. So I don't, sometimes you, especially when you're looking at more quote unquote natural products, sometimes this will go for $7. And you don't need to pay $7 for this. So please don't spend money like that. You can buy it for probably $1 to $3 at most places. And I live in an area where everything is overpriced. So okay. Next, I finished these Mary Ruth's vitamin C. Oh, and I forgot to say, the dish soap is a definite repurchase. I have been trying to find powder based dish soap refill things, and I just cannot find anything that is not ridiculously overpriced. I similarly cannot find a refill place in which it's worth it to take the time and energy to refill and it be cost effective. For whatever reason, that brand is far more affordable than anything else I can find. So right now I'm just going to be repurchasing the bottle, but in the hopes that I can at least refill, if not find a powder form, because I just like how space efficient powders and sheets are in comparison to liquid products. So anyways, that's my deviation on that. Okay, so these vitamin C gummies, they are a mixed flavor package. So there's cherry, orange, and grape. I like these. These were fine. I would honestly probably, I love a gummy. I would say the texture of these is not amazing. pricing. I would say generally Mary Ruth's is great for taste for the most part, but again, just in the spirit of saving space, I would much rather get like a liquid form of this and just like spray it under my tongue rather than deal with a bulky gummy bottle. That's just where I'm at in my life right now. So yeah, these were okay. I won't repurchase this, but I probably will get something vitamin C related at some point. I've been really downsizing my supplement vitamin collection, if you will, and so I'm really just like trying to finish up everything, and like being a little bit more strategic about what I'm buying and why. I would say, like, unless I really absolutely feel like it makes a huge difference, or I know for a fact I need it in my diet, I'm probably not going to repurchase it, because I can't just be spending money like that in this economy, okay? So and I love buying supplements. I think it's like one of those weird things I tend to over purchase. I think because it feels like aspirational. Anyways, so this is a no for me, but I love this brand and I highly recommend it. It is pricier, but I recommend. Okay, next item. This is like everyone on earth has this, so it's not a not that exciting, but it's the TheraBreath oral rinse and clean mint. I buy this in the big bottle that is 1 liter. This is by far my favorite mouthwash. I actually don't use mouthwash religiously, but my partner does, and so this is what we buy. I really only use mouthwash in like a pinch, or like I just feel like I need a refresh. I don't really use it every single time I brush my teeth, because I use a water flosser and I also tongue scrape, and so I feel like that kind of does it for me. Like, I don't feel like I need an extra rinse after that, so I don't use it, but they do, and it works really well. I feel like it's the most like, I feel good about the ingredients, and I also feel like it's not just like sometimes I feel like mouthwash is like a synthetic air freshener, where it feels like you're just like spraying chemicals and it's like not really doing a lot. It's just like kind of sitting there, and this feels more like it's actually doing something and kind of just like cleansing the mouth. I don't know if that makes any sense. But this is a definite repurchase. It's gotten so expensive, I think just because it's gotten so popular, but at this point it's just one of those things that like there's nothing better than it at this point, like on the market, to me. And if it were just me, I would just cut it out, but it's one of those things that my partner really likes and is like integrated into their routine, and so it's just gonna be purchased for now. So yeah, okay, next thing is this was like actually kind of a impulse purchase when I first bought it. It's the Hello, which I think is a Target brand, or at least it's sold at Target, the toothpaste tabs, and this is actually an empty 2 times over. So I have emptied it out, and then I refilled it with other toothpaste tabs that I got at just like a random refillery. And I don't use these on the daily, but I use them for traveling, and I think this is such a big travel hack. If you have not done this already, I feel like just for cost effectiveness and for space, I highly recommend using toothpaste tabs and packing just the amount of toothpaste that you need in your bag in just like a really small container. So this is like my big refill container that I use. So I'm actually not going to be getting rid of this. I just put it in my pile so I could talk about it. But yeah, I refill this. It's just like a little tin container. I don't know, maybe it's like aluminum or something. But yeah, it says metal canister. Yeah, I use this as like my big bulky refill container, and then I just take from that and refill as needed for my travel bag. And I really I feel like this is one of those things that I have refined over the years. And you know, I don't know if it's I actually don't know if it's cost effective, because I know you can get travel toothpaste for $1 at the dollar store, or maybe $1.25 now, I don't know. But as far as like mental load and space, I love this. I was about to call it a hack. It's not a hack. But I highly recommend doing it, especially if you're someone that travels often and you travel with a carry-on and you are trying to maximize your space. So, and just in general, like toothpaste tabs, they still kind of freak me out for daily use. I don't know why. I honestly don't really know why. So I still use a paste on the daily, because I feel like it just in case one of them isn't good for me or good for my teeth, I am doing different things. I don't know, it's a little neurotic. But if you haven't tried toothpaste tabs, I would recommend. I started off with this brand just because it's more quote unquote normal. I didn't want to start off at a refillery and do something really kind of off the wall and super ultra natural, just because I wanted them to be shelf stable for the most part and just not be too weird and kind of put me off of it. So far I have tried formulations that aren't super duper wacky and super ultra natural, and that's, I guess, if you're like me, I recommend starting off with those and then just seeing how far you can push it. That's usually what I do. So yeah, highly recommend. I will put this off to the side here. Okay, next we're getting into less natural. So okay, this is the Lysol laundry sanitizer. I bought this because I had a specific problem, okay? I had a specific problem. And it was when I was washing my workout clothes. And they're all delicates, only on cold, only air dry, the whole deal. They just started to come out smelling not clean. They were starting to smell mildewy, and it wasn't inherently the drying process. I think the drying process, because where I've been hanging it in the house doesn't get good airflow. I think there's some other reasons that contributed to it, but they were just starting to not smell fresh and clean out of the wash. And so I was okay, I wanted to try this. I do think it helped. Do I like using things like this? No, not really. I want to limit the amount of products that I'm using just in general, for a variety of reasons. It's another thing to keep in the laundry area. It's another liquid that takes up space. It's not, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like expensive, but it's not cheap either. So it's just like another unnecessary thing that I didn't really want to add. So it did kind of work. What I found actually just worked better was just adding, like, I use laundry sheets, like paper sheets for soap, which I highly recommend if you are someone that lives in a small space. So much easier, like weight wise, cost wise, like, oh my god, I highly recommend if you have not tried that. I have a top loading washer. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I'll just put that disclaimer in there also. Just doing like a double portion of the soap worked better than pretty much anything else. So I used this up while I had it, and I'm just not gonna repurchase it again. But I mean, like, it worked, it helped. But I found, like, the more that I had it on the shelf, I like initially bought it just for that one specific purchase, and then everything I was putting in the wash, I was like, oh, I want to sanitize this. And so I'd like put the sanitizer in there, and I was like, I've never had this, like, if I buy more of this, I'm just gonna want to use this for everything, because I feel like everything is dirty and germy always. So I don't know, it's like just kind of turning into a thing for me that I didn't really like. So yeah. Okay, next thing is this Dove 0% aluminum deodorant in the sensitive, like, free and clear version. I hate this deodorant. Okay, formulation's totally fine. I actually love the Dove 0% aluminum in any of the actual fragranced flavors, scents. I'm like an aluminum free deodorant veteran at this point. I will say I'm not, like, I have tried everything down to like actual homemade deodorant, and I just use the 0% coconut Dove deodorant. First of all, because it's cheap. Second of all, because it actually works, and it's not irritating. And so I purchased this one because I kind of wanted to start moving away from fragrance if I can. Like, if it's, you know, an option, I felt like, okay, you know, for like all of my base, like just anything that I'm putting on my body before bed, why not just not put fragrance all over it? Like, why do I need to be marinating in artificial fragrances 24/7, you know? And so I bought this. It smells weird and plasticky, and I hated it. And so I put it into like my travel bag rotation as like my travel deodorant, and I used it up. I was very proud of myself for even using it up because I disliked it so much. And then I got down to kind of like the nub. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see that. And so there's technically still a little bit left, but honestly, I hated it so much. I just wanted to reward myself for coming this far and using this much up. And at this point, it's gotten down so low that like when I put it on, the sides scrape my underarms, and I don't like that. And so I'm just ready to say goodbye. So this is a no to repurchasing. I will say the brand itself and the 0% aluminum line, I don't recommend the sprays. The sprays burn. I did not like the sensitive skin stick, but I love the fragranced stick versions of the Dove 0%. So hopefully that's helpful. And I also think if you're curious about getting into the 0% aluminum situation, I highly recommend trying the 0% aluminum Dove or Secret versions, because I think they're equally as good for the most part, at least the stick ones. Okay, Next, I have a random hand lotion that I ran out of. This is a goat milk hand cream and roseberry scent. I usually keep these in my travel bag and I use them as body lotion while I travel, which I really like because I find I just get so many random little creams and like hand lotions, and so they're super space efficient because oftentimes you don't need much more than this, especially if you're only traveling for like a couple days. And like slathering your whole body in lotion from a travel tube this size, you run out really quickly, and so it really kind of helps kind of cut down on like the random little travel toiletry items that you have. So that's what I've been doing. Worked out great. I actually really like this. Is like, I think, just like a random cheap lotion. It smells very nostalgic to me, and I don't know why or what it reminds me of, but it's like a very fragranced, perfumey scent. Yeah, I liked it while I had it. I won't repurchase because I find that the universe is always sending me different hand creams, so I don't necessarily need to repurchase that one. Okay, next thing is I have the L'Oreal Lash Paradise in brown. Very exciting. This just like, it is goopy and dry. I honestly think, like, I don't know if you can like hear it, but it's drying up, and it's gotten like goopy. I've had it for quite a while, and you can tell that from the fact that the packaging is like rubbed off, or the print, I guess. This is in Latte Brown. I really liked it while I had it. It was probably definitely featured in like my daily makeup routine. Ooh, sorry. I won't be repurchasing this specific one because this one was just like out of convenience. I just purchased a different drugstore brown mascara from a grocery store that I was shopping at that week. So nothing against this one. I actually really like the formulation. If you like a thicker, more buildable mascara, like if you're into kind of like the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, I actually think that this is a really good, I wouldn't say it's like a dupe. I'm not that big of a expert, but I would say if you're into that kind of mascara, that's a really good one to try out. Okay. Next, this one's been a long time coming. I've had this for a couple years now. It is the Valentino. I actually don't know what the actual name of this perfume is. But you'll know by the color probably. It's a Valentino travel perfume. This is such a fun little case that it comes in. You can actually pop out the bottle, and it like makes me want to do something with it. Like, it's just a clear bottle. Oh, sorry. That comes in this like fun rubbery like case, but like I don't know what I'd do with this. So yeah, it was an okay perfume. It was definitely a little bit strong. I'd say it's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of more expensive perfumes just have like an overarching like perfumey smell to me, and this definitely smells that way. But it is good. I liked it. I used it up. But I won't be repurchasing. I feel like there's other ones that I'd like to try, and there's other ones that I like more. So yeah, but I generally do like the Valentino perfumes. just not at the top of my list, you know? Okay, next. This is another kind of unhinged empty, but it's the Safeguard hand soap. It comes in this gigantic container. Gigantic. This is from Walmart. It's in the Sunseeker scent, and I got this last summer, and I'm just now finishing it. So if you're looking for hand soap that lasts a long time, that you don't have to refill, like ever, get this one. Honestly. Smells great. Smells fruity, coconutty, summertimey. Loved it. Super, I honestly think this was like $1 or $2. Also, like, super cost effective. Not like the cutest thing to have on your countertop, but like, you know, for the convenience and the price effectiveness, the cost effectiveness, love it. Okay, next thing is this body spray that I bought at Urban Outfitters with a gift card. It's the Boulangerie Paris. I don't know if the brand is the Boulangerie or it's Brume. No, that's just French for perfume mist. So it's Boulangerie. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's just bakery in French. If my memory serves me correctly. And this is like a meringue fragrance. I really liked it in the store, and I actually did like a little bit of inventing. I poured most of this into another body spray I already had, and this is what was left. I just find the scent to be too abrasive on me. Like, I spray it and then I just like smell it all day, like not in a good way, and there's just not enough of it left for me to want to do anything else with it. I don't feel like it's worth posting in my buy nothing group, so I'm just gonna throw it out for my peace. Super sweet. I don't know, there's just something in it that is just not, it's just not for me. So that is not a repurchase. Okay, next one is a candle, and you'll see that there's like a little bit left, but it is, I can't get it to burn anymore, so I'm done with it. I thought about keeping the jar for something, because it is a cute little jar, but I think there will be more jars in my future, and I can let this one go because I don't know what I would actually use it for at this point. But this is the Rose and Garnet Berry candle. I actually don't know what brand this is. But it smelled great, like very, very rosy, fresh, fruity. Good little candle. I'm currently burning through all of my candles, which is why this one's just chugging along, because like I have a candle warmer that I want to use, and I see in my future that I will be receiving candles as gifts and all that, so I'll keep the candle warmer for just the couple of candles that I receive and I want to burn through that way. But honestly, I kind of want to transition to, well, I don't kind of want to, I already have, I got a Pura fragrance diffuser thing, because it's one of those, I don't know, I'm really trying to simplify, and I know that kind of feels counterintuitive, but just let me get on my podium and justify this purchase. So I'm trying to invest in things that simplify my life, that take mental load away. And while I love candles, they are things that you have to monitor and watch, and sometimes are just less enjoyable. Like, I like lighting a candle every once in a while, like after cleaning, when you're just relaxing in the same room. It can be nice, but honestly, now that I have a cat, it becomes something not as enjoyable because I'm always worried about the cat getting into the candle. Even when it's on the warmer, honestly, the warmer kind of helps, but also I find that the warmer never actually burns through the candle fully, and it's not reaching as many parts of the house as I'd like. So I would like to burn through the majority of my candles, maybe have one on deck for the warmer, and then, you know, the other couple ones that I receive throughout the year as gifts. And I want to stop buying candles, which is like kind of a crazy thing for me to say because I'm like a huge candle person. I love candles. But I think I'm just done. I like the Pura because you can program it to different strengths, different room sizes, and you can also program it to go off for a certain amount of time. And so I'm someone that doesn't need like a super heavily fragranced home. And so most people, like, I looked up a lot of reviews, and there was one lady that said she just programs it to go off for 15 minutes a day, and that's all she needs, and the pods last her like a full year. And to me, like $30 a year to keep your home smelling super fresh, I feel like is so much, without having to think about it like at all throughout the year, is better than spending so much money on like different sprays and perfumes and just like random, like, I have so many home fragrance items that I just want to get rid of and like not have as much in my home. It's a lot less bulky because I have the one that just plugs into the wall, and so it takes up less space physically, but it also takes up so much less space in my mind because I don't have to think about it at all. And when it needs a refill, I get an app notification on my phone. So that's my speech after my one candle empty from this month. That's my plan. Okay, so out of the things that I actually used up this month, what are the things that I'm repurchasing? Okay, so toothpaste tabs, great. Mouthwash and dish soap. All the other items are just going away. They're actually technically I repurchased a mascara, and technically, because this was in my travel bag, so sorry. Technically, because this was in my travel bag, I replaced this with a smaller travel size deodorant, so it takes up even less space, which I'm excited about. But that wasn't a purchase technically because it was already like in my collection, so it was like free this time, which was kind of fun. But even so, like, I think I just used a aluminum like travel size deodorant that I got from the Dollar Tree, just for cost effectiveness, you know. I think I will survive if I use aluminum while I travel a couple times a year instead of using aluminum free. So that's what I decided to do this time around. I might find a travel deodorant that is aluminum free and space efficient and that works, but for now, that's what I'm doing. So out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 products we talked about today, I am quote unquote repurchasing or keeping 5 of them. So that's like 50% of the products that I used are going to stay out of my life. I mean, I don't want to say forever, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they are not being replaced, which feels really good because I am actively trying to declutter my life and simplify it. I feel like I've said that in so many videos, but it feels good. So hopefully this was somewhat entertaining. Maybe this was a little cathartic to you to see so many products being used up. I do want to throw a quick little disclaimer for those of you that noticed. I definitely am someone that doesn't use the last drop. Like, I am trying, but sometimes I don't. So I apologize if that is bothersome to you. So anyways, I hope you all have an amazing weekend. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye, everyone.